Hi everyone, today I'm going to be looking at the topic of hosting in your Connect group. Now you might say today, we host people all the time, we've got this waxed, and for most of us I would agree, and well done, and thank you for having people in your home all the time. I've just realized over the years that there are so many things that we can do that will make our hosting so much easier, allow more people to come, more people to be touched by Jesus. And so I just want to take a few minutes today for us just to give some thought to the way in which we host people at our homes during Connect groups. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that the venue where you meet has absolutely no impact on the success of your Connect group. If we look at Jesus, he met on seashores, he met on mountainsides, he met in temple courts, he met in people's homes, he spoke to people in the streets, he connected with people in so many different venues, and every time it was successful. And so, friends, it doesn't matter whether you're in a classroom, a comm room, a digs, a shack, a home, wherever you might be, God has such wonderful plans for your Connect groups, and it is for them to succeed. However, I do want to say that the way in which we prepare our venue, the thought we give in, the way in which we prepare our message and what we're going to be doing in that Connect group has so much of an impact on the success of that group. So I just want to take a few minutes to talk about that prep of our homes and the way in which we host people. The first thing that I'd love us to give some thought to, and it's often something that I have forgotten, is parking. Now, for some of us, I know that people arrive at your Connect groups and they've walked there or they've ridden on bikes, and so parking isn't an issue. But for those of you who have people that arrive in cars and on motorbikes to your Connect groups, please do give thought to parking. Sometimes we're so used to parking in our homes and down our driveways that we give it no thought. We do it every day, every morning. But for some people, your driveway that is so steep that only has 3 parking options, or where people are parking on the street, or they're parking in a area where other people are also got allocated parking, it can be quite a thing. So give some thought to the parking. Is there enough parking? Do you maybe need to go outside and be with the people just to direct them, or get someone in your Connect group to come early to help you direct people to parkings so that they feel confident and they feel secure? And there's one guy in our site in Durban where he lived in a complex, and it was multi-leveled, very confusing, but there were loads of visitors parking. So what he did was he got a drone footage of his the place where he lived, and he highlighted all the different visitors parkings, and he put that on his WhatsApp chat, and he said, "We can't wait to have you tonight. These are all your options. Come ready." And they have a Connect group of over 20 people every single week that meet in a complex, but there's parking space for all of them. They feel secure. It's easy for them to get there. The second thing that I think we should give thought to, and it's very small, but I think it plays an impact, is the lighting of your parking lots. If it's very dark, people can feel unsafe, and it can seem very unfriendly. And it's such a little thing, and most of us, it wouldn't matter. But there are some people who will be put off by that and would think, "Ish, I don't know if I should come back here. I don't know if it's safe. Can I leave my car here?" Maybe put someone out with a spotlight. If you can't put up more lighting, have someone out with a torch to welcome people. It has such a big impact on their first impression. The third thing that I want to give thought to is, what are people actually walking into when they get to your venue? And I always like to think of some of the senses. For me, it just covers all the grounds and makes it so easy. So the first thing is, what do people see when they come in to your home? Now, I absolutely get chaos. My children are full on into sport. They're coming home late. They're having to eat supper. We're having to get homework done. All of that is going on within minutes of people arriving at our home for a Connect group. But I've got to give thought to that. If people are arriving into my home and there's rugby socks on the floor, and there's homework on the table, and there's half-eaten plates of food lying in my kitchen, it makes it look like they're actually disturbing me and that I'm not really ready for them to come to my home. So on those nights, what I would often do is do everything in my kids' bedroom. I'll feed them in the bedroom. We'll do homework in the bedroom, just so that when people walk into my home, it looks like there's some sort of order. I'm kind of ready for them. What does your home look like when people come in? The second thing is, what do people smell when they come into your home? Such a silly thing, but you might be so used to the smell of wet dogs or wet rugby socks. In my case, it's smelly boys. I need to make sure, is my home smelling good? Sometimes I say to the kids, "Get the air freshener, run around, just spray. This place smells disgusting. Open the windows." Give thought to that, because we might be used to it, but other people are totally not, and it can be such an off-putting thing to walk into a home where all they can smell is your children's smelly shoes. On that note, something that I always forget to do, but it's such a practical thing, is go and check your bathrooms. Check that the toilet is flush, check that it's smelling nice, check that you've got toilet paper, and check that your kids haven't left dirty rings in the bath. Just make sure that your home is looking and smelling great. The third thing is, what do people hear when they walk into your home? Half an hour before people come into our home for Connect group, I've got to make sure that I'm not shouting orders. Oh my gosh, pick up your socks, pick up your shoes. No, we want to put on some beautiful music. We want the home to hear and sound inviting. So put on something beautiful in the background. It takes 2 minutes, but make sure it's on. It changes the environment that people walk into. And lastly, and this is a very small thing, but what are people touching when they walk in? You know, I often would just run my hand along a counter, and if I'm picking up dust, I think, oh my goodness, and that can happen in my home. Or when you walk in and you take off your shoes out of respect, and suddenly you just have your feet full of dirt. What are people walking into? So give thought to the senses in your home. The fourth thing that I want us to give thought to is practically setting up your home. Now, for me, when we have Connect group in our home, my day is too busy to set up my home when I get home. For Connect group, I cannot set it up at the end of the day. I know I'm going to run out of time. So on Connect group days, I wake up slightly earlier and we set up the lounge, I set up the teas and coffees, I make sure that it's all done. Maybe it takes 15 minutes, but at least it's done. It's something that I don't have to then do scrambling just before Connect group. Forecast. Think how many people are coming, who do you need to prepare for, get your seats ready, put your chairs out in place. Sometimes you need to add some more chairs. If people arrive and you're like, oh gosh, we've run out of chairs, it makes them feel like, ish, I hope it's fine that we're here. So get your chairs out, make sure there's enough seats for everybody, and make sure your teas and coffees and your water's out. Even if it's just water that you're giving them, make sure it's out and it's ready. It shows that you're prepared for them. Put your music on, check your loos. So that's practically preparing your home. And then the last thing that I thought we should consider is consider people's specific circumstances. If people are coming to your Connect group and one of them is bringing a friend that's in a wheelchair, consider that. Do you have an easy access? Anticipate it. Is there an easier way into your home that you can welcome them? Consider, are people bringing children? Are we ready for them? If people are bringing kids to my home, I'll always send them a message beforehand. What do your kids want to do? Will you want to put them to sleep? Or should we put a movie on for them? Are they of that age where maybe we need to club together as a Connect group and hire a babysitter for the night? Or is there an older kid who can look after them? If you don't give it any thought, you're going to be caught. We've been caught every now and then where people have rocked up with children and we're in a venue where we actually don't know what to do with them. And it makes the family feel like, oh, why did we even come? They're not ready for us. It's terrible for the kids. So if kids are coming, prepare for them. It's better for you and it's better for them. Also think of safety, your pool, back doors, all those things. We need to, as Connect group leaders, make sure that we have those things all covered. Another thing to consider is animals. Many of us are animal lovers and we don't mind dogs jumping up on us or cats lying all over us. But for some people, they are absolutely petrified of animals. So if you do have animals all over your home, maybe on that night, just think about it. Maybe if there's a way that you can put them in the back garden just for those few hours of Connect group, that when people are walking in, they might have come straight from a meeting at work, being their smart work clothes, and a dog jumping up on them would just be like the last straw of their day. So maybe put your animals away and just be ready to welcome them. And just in closing, I know that we are not looking for perfect homes. It's not about having that home that is Martha Stewart perfect, but it's just showing people intentionality. You know, if Jesus was coming to our home, what would we do? We would make sure that we were ready in as much of a way as we can. And when we have Connect groups, we need to make sure every single Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whenever you have it, what a privilege it is that we get to have people in our home and we get to talk about Jesus. And so the same way, let us prepare for them. Let us honor their time and let us honor them and get our venues ready. My last thought is that famous Mary and Martha story. Mary is praised for sitting at Jesus' feet because she just wanted to hear his heart. She wanted to worship him. And Martha, we often look at her and think, oh, what were you doing, Martha? Preparing your home. You should have been sitting at Jesus' feet. What I wanted to say today is that Martha was doing what was right. She was preparing for Jesus. She was preparing for the people. The problem was she chose the wrong time. She should have had that stuff prepared so that she could have sat at Jesus' feet. When Connect Group starts, it's not the time for us to be putting out the coffee cups. It's not the time for us to be cleaning our counters. It's not the time for us to be shouting at our kids to jump in the bath and get their homework done. We need to try as Connect Group leaders to raise the standard, to prepare ourselves, to push ourselves to the limit sometimes. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, this is so hard. But what a privilege and what a joy it is. And when we invite people into our homes and we're ready and we're prepared, then we can be like Mary and we can serve them with love and we can sit at the feet of Jesus and we can receive on those evenings. So I just want to encourage you, in the same way that we serve God with all of our hearts and all of our strengths, let us open our homes and prepare them as if the King of Kings was coming into our home every single time we host a Connect Group. All the best and enjoy it. It is such a joy and a privilege.